if there's a yin and a yang, you could fill in the blanks. I feel it.
But at the end of the day, light always wins.
Yeah, for sure.
Goodness.
For sure.
Love.
That's facts.
You know?
That's facts.
So, yeah.
That's facts.
Love always wins.
I like that. James, welcome. Thank you for the likes. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
What do we got?
All right, so far we are caught up. Anything else, Jeff, Mr. Sherman?
No. Would there be anything that you would like people to know? We always ask this question.
Yeah,
Especially
absolutely.
like anything that people would like to know, learn, and potentially, like you said, it doesn't have to be you, but like guide themselves to want to be more open with learning Reiki, or at least getting a session, or to be able to open their soul up to something bigger than themselves, because a lot of people in this world struggle because it's more about materialistic stuff. It's more about what can I do for myself, me, myself, and I, me.
Yeah.
And it's like my brother and I have gotten to a level where we're like, what can I do for others before I can do for myself? So it's like a lot of people struggle with that, because it's like, if you're not doing something for me, then why would I do something for you? Type attitude. So it's like, what message can you give anybody that is struggling with themselves mentally, spiritually, emotionally, that can essentially guide them, not just to you, not just to you, because my brother and I will always hear, I'm a spiritualist, or something like that, but it's like, what can you tell people that are struggling with themselves, that want to find or figure out who they are as a person,
that want to get into Reiki,
into Reiki or anything like that?
I would say, listen to your soul. Listen to your soul. Your intuitive, if you feel it here, you feel it in your gut.
It's not gonna lie to you.
Something's gonna nudge you. I like to say your soul will, cry out to you until it's like, hello.
Yeah,
it's that gut feeling.
Yeah,
you know it. You know it,
and so and then do your research. Find someone that you resonate with.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because again, like you said, there's light and there's dark. I had a client that would come from Miami to see me because she had a bad experience in Miami.
You gotta leave.
And she would come to see me because she said it was different.
Miami's like Sin City.
You know what I'm saying?
See, now, is that a possibility? Like, I've been.
So you could, so that's why I say, do your research. I would say, if someone, I have a chat, like a little chat appointment available, because, I know sometimes people are reluctant. They might want to talk to me first. Some people, again, go to the site, read over it. They resonate, they book. But sometimes some people are hesitant.
Yeah.
Schedule a chat with me.
The fear of being judged.
I'll chat with you. I'll, I don't have a problem talking to somebody, and to see if it resonates, to see if I resonate with you. And if I don't, that's fine. But find someone that you resonate with that, can guide you. Because at the end of the day, like I said, your soul's going to tell you it's time for change. You're going to know, you're having experiences that
I feel
you can't explain.
You can't explain. Like, things are slowing you down. You're replaying certain things. Like, no, I feel it.
I think the biggest issue with a lot of people today is they worry about so much of what other people think. So it's like they can never move forward with anything that they want to do in their lives, because it's like, oh, what is this person going to think about me? And it's like, at the end of the day, you can walk into a mall, look at this person, be the most ridiculous person in the world, and you'll never see that person ever again.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I think and I think that's just the biggest issue. So it's like, first you have to get beyond that step, and then you can seek the guidance and help that you want to get, because they put themselves that, oh, I feel shame because that person's judging me, but why do you care?
That's the barrier to your higher self. Shame.
Shame. Once you've accepted that, then nothing can.
You gotta let go of that ego mindset.
Ego death.
Your ego is the death of your ego.
Yeah.
Ego
is
the
ego doesn't want you to evolve, to be more mindful, to live in peace. The ego will keep replaying.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Replaying the trigger, replaying what they said. You've gotta, you've gotta do it for yourself.
Of course.
Because you love yourself. Because you know that you want to be balanced. And so, when you do it for yourself, for your inner being, for your wellness.
That's facts.
You'll have, whether it's a session or whether it is, just getting, Reiki 1. Some people just get Reiki 1 and stay with Reiki 1 just because it's for self-healing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Self-regulation.
Exactly.
Right.
So just doing Reiki 1 because you know what? You know that there's something within you that needs to be healed. That's where you start.
No, yeah, for sure. Definitely.
That's real. Final comments. Let me read some. Snot says, can I print any deck from online and call it my tarot deck, or is there something special that makes a tarot deck?
Oh, that's a good question. She asks a lot of good questions.
You could print a deck,
but is it the same?
But I feel like
because it's the energy you put onto the deck.
That's what I'm saying. That's just an extension of what you believe in, what is valid or legitimate to you. You see what I'm saying? Like, no, I feel that
if it resonates with you, you could use that deck. You get what I'm saying?
Because it's not about what other people validating, except for like the Reiki master.
Intention is everything. So you got the deck.
What's the reason?
You put your intention on the deck that you're going to use it for the highest and best.
I think that's why Jules does everything. Right. She does. She puts like incense candles around her deck.
Right. You clear it. You cleanse it.
Yeah.
You can knock on it 3 times to So it's intention.
Because it's here and here. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's like, get rid of the ego, get rid of the shame. It's like you could have a janky deck, but if it's here and here, it doesn't matter if someone thinks it's legitimate or real or whatnot. And then she also says, how can you tell a practitioner from a scammer?
She's asking a lot of good questions.
Well, I would say, how can you tell? Trust your heart.
I feel that.
Trust your soul. You get what I'm saying?
I feel that.
Because again, there's unfortunately there are people that maybe don't do it with integrity.
Yeah,
it's kind of like I would hope the mega church pastors or something. Right.
Yeah.
Once it starts getting really telemarketing,
or
I think that's when.
What I've always learned, because I've always heard the terminology, the gut feeling, and I always say
that's it. Your gut feeling. If
something's telling you, yo, this ain't it.
If your stomach starts hurting, walk away because it's screaming.
Right.
That's not good.
Right.
And I've learned that with because we already had this conversation, but I've learned that in my past relationship when I was engaged, that my gut was screaming no, but I said yes, and then it turned out bad after 5 years. So it's like, okay, now I understand what it means, so not to do that again.
I'll let you know.
I usually tell, if someone has came to me and they've had a Reiki session before, so each practitioner in a session is different. Some people talk during the session. I don't. I want my client to have their experience.
Right.
So we'll have a little, 5 minutes before, in that hour, 5 minutes to chit chat. Once you lay down on the table, I'm not going to talk until it's time. And I say come back because I want you to have your experience.
It's with yourself.
You have your intention. I want you to connect to your higher self. I'm going to connect to my higher self and my guide so that my messages will come through for you. So we'll have a little discussion after. So some people do it during, but I personally don't, because I want that person to have their experience, not me bringing them out from, if you're relaxing and maybe talking to an ancestor or, I
don't want to be like, hey,
yank them out the avatar state. What?
So I like to allow them to have their time. Then, I bring them back like a grounding meditation, and then I discuss what, energy center or what came to me and things like that. But I say that because, again, every practitioner is different.
Yeah. No,
so this is my purpose. This is my purpose. And so I take it with,
Keep
the
going.
utmost sacred
And you do it
work.
honestly.
I don't even say it's work. It's my
Right.
purpose.
Yeah,
feel you.
like
You
this
know.
is not work for us. We
Right.
love,
It's not.
Yeah.
we
It
love
really
doing
isn't.
this.